So I've got the recording started. Again, just welcome. Thank you everyone for being here. We're glad you're all able to make this happen and be a part of this. We're definitely facing, some unique situations in today's day and age, kind of unprecedented times of having to adapt as a business and as personnel. So hopefully this is beneficial to everyone and we can cover some great topics and really make sure we can make it all through this, the quarantine and everything we've got going on in 2020. So thanks again for being here. Just want to kind of introduce who we have on the line here as our panelists and who you'll be hearing from. So first we have Andrew Zambetti, the Executive Sales Director for Better Earth. He'll be speaking to us. Zane Jan, the President and CEO of Better Earth. They're going to be talking a little bit about, kind of their large company out in California. They're going to be talking about how they're pushing through this time, how they're motivating reps, how they're using Solo and other tools to get those sales and keep everything going. And then we've got Mike Hilverda from Salesrabbit over here in Utah as well. He'll be talking to us about some of the awesome integrations and features that Salesrabbit offers and how you can also be using their tools in our virtual environment we have going on right now. And then I'll talk a little bit about Solo, what we have, what we offer. We've got some kind of melding of the companies with the Salesrabbit and Better Earth and Solo groups. So be some new information for everyone and hopefully it's beneficial to everyone. So again, want to thank you all for being here. Like I said, this is recorded, so we will send this out to everyone. And then just so you kind of know, and this is a great tip from Mike, is we've got a QA section and then we've got a chat section in Zoom. And so the chat, go ahead and use that for really anything you want, just general comments. You can ask kind of brief questions in there. But the big thing is that this Q&A section that you can submit to, that will actually go to kind of a queue that we can then resolve and we can tackle at the end. So we'll hear from Better Earth first and then Solo and then Salesrabbit. And then after that, we'll do a Q&A session and then try to wrap it up here in maybe an hour, 10 minutes. So make sure just to kind of put your questions in the Q&A section so we can make sure that everyone gets the attention they deserve and that we answer those questions. So without any further ado, I'm going to mute and I'll turn the time over to Andrew and Zane.
Right on. Thanks, David. Zane, I can kick it off if you want to.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, so first of all, we can't see your guys' faces or anything like that. So just excited to be talking to all of you, even though I can't see you or know you. But just want to let you know that my goals this year, personally, I'm always looking at it from a sales rep perspective, because as a sales leader, you're always trying to work from the ground up with your people. So my goal this year was to make $1 million just in commissions. And when this whole coronavirus hit, probably like a lot of you guys, I was just thinking, man, there's no way I can do this now. This is pretty rough. I can't door knock. Me and my roommates were like, man, we should just go to Hawaii or something, just trying to escape. But then, with bad times comes big opportunities, and we kind of moved over to the virtual sales. And because of this, once we master this, now the opportunity to make $1 million a year for all of us is more real than ever. Because now we can get more customers in, we can spend less drive time going out to turf, we can master the cold calls, we can reach more customers. It's an easier sign-up process for the customers. And so just all in all, and plus we can scale easier, right? Because you can be in any place, anywhere. I mean, you could be signing people up while you're in Wisconsin or Hawaii. It doesn't even matter. And you could be signing up people in Florida, Texas, California, no matter where you are. So the opportunity now is more real than ever, and we're really honestly lucky that this happened so we can improve our skill sets. But really, I would say if you're a leader on this call, it's up to us to figure it out for our people. And if you're a rep on this call, just know you just stepped into a huge opportunity. So that's kind of what I wanted to lead with. But when it comes to virtual selling, it's not a whole lot different than what we do as it is already. So don't think about it as something that's this big new thing. Even though it is new, it is different. The actual sales process is still the same. And when it all comes down to it, we're still giving the best deal on the planet. Most of us are selling zero money down options to save money for free and then add value to the property in most of our cases. So when it comes down to it, we're just giving people money, and people are always going to want that. And now more than ever is when we should be giving it to people. This is really our call to action, our call to duty, to be able to help people as much as possible. Not only the environment, but just people are losing their jobs. They're lacking income. They're stuck at home. Their utility bills are really high. So make that all a big pain point for people, because it already is in their head. They're already feeling really scarce. They're feeling like they need some help, and we're there to help them out. If you're going to be lazy right now, then you're going to miss out on helping out a ton of people, more people than ever. So yeah. that's all I would really have to say in terms of the opportunity as it is. But this is really like the next big thing for us, because when people want solar, when people are looking around saying, oh, okay, well, we can save money for free, there's going to be a call list of just, who can sign me up the fastest and the easiest. And if you don't have to go to their house, if you can just do it all over the phone, if you can do it all through a virtual screen, then you're going to be the one who signs with the most amount of people. Also, a lot of your friends are out of a job right now, especially if they're salespeople. So this is the perfect time to reach back out to your friends, get them on board with this. They can cold call anywhere. I have a friend with a family. They were never going to be able to come out to California and door knock with me because they have a family out there. And to be real, door knocking is only for the most savage, crazy salespeople there are. So you're not going to get everyone through that. But for cold calling all day, yeah, we can get a ton of people that way. Friends on Wall Street, friends that do insurance. So reach out to all your friends. We have a huge opportunity for them. A lot of them aren't working. And then when they find out that they can sign up anyone, anywhere when it comes to solar, and when they just hear the solar deal itself, then they'll probably be on board for it. That's it, guys. So I'm going to pass it over to Zane. Just get fired up. I'm pretty fired up. I just want to get back to making some more phone calls. But Zane, go ahead.
All right, Andrew, I appreciate that, brother. And I think those are some awesome tips. And for those of you that don't know Andrew's on our sales team. He's our sales leader. He's really the best example and role model for salespeople during these times, because in my opinion, there's two types of salespeople. There's salespeople that during these times are going to make the excuses and come up with every justification to not work and not close deals and not sell solar. And then there's salespeople that are going to use this to motivate themselves and have their best months. And I see Andrew definitely having his best month. I see Andrew's team definitely having their best month. So it's a really awesome thing to see. And you want to find a leader, on your team that's able to do that. So for all of you on this call, whether you're an owner, whether you're a sales leader, or whether you're a sales rep, it's really just about kind of figuring out that stuff. But I want to give you guys 5 tips today that have really helped me and Better Earth during these times. When this first happened, obviously it was a massive shock for everyone. I remember when I first came in and I heard about the coronavirus, at first I didn't really believe it to be something so big, right? We had kind of saw it start in China, and it didn't really feel like something was going to come. Or I remember talking to my neighbors being like, oh yeah, it's going to blow over. It's just another one of those things. It's this media hysteria. And when it started getting real, I remember just telling myself, kind of talking to our executive team, just saying, hey, we have to be prepared for this. We have to think of the worst case scenario right now, because we probably aren't going to be able to door knock. We're probably not going to be able to acquire our customers. And most of our business traditionally has come through door to door. So how are we going to transition? So real quickly, we kind of put together a battle plan. And the first thing we said, during tough times like this, you have to increase your outflow. You have to increase your contacts. You have to increase your relationships with your customers. A lot of people stop talking to their customers during this time. You have to increase your communication with your customers. So one of the first things we said was, pull out your list of everyone that you have installed. Pull out your list of everyone that you haven't installed yet. Pull out your list of everyone that has canceled. Call them and give them an incentive to go solar. Give them a special opportunity and a special deal that they've never been offered before. So step 1 for our team was, let's have a massive amount of outflow. Let's reach out to as many people as possible. Whether it's a phone book, we actually bought like 150,000 names. It was an aged list of people that were homeowners. And we just had everyone calling and doing a massive amount of outflow, because again, the only thing you can do in times of contraction is you got to reach out to more people. You got to talk to more people. And as you talk to more people, it makes you better at your job, but you also understand how much opportunity is out there. One of the things that, we preach to our team internally is people do need solar more than ever right now. People have this fixed utility bill with an increased demand. That utility bill is going to continue to go up. So they're going to be stuck with that high utility bill. So it is our duty to give them solar, because if we give them solar, 1, we're going to give them a massive incentive off the bat, being able to own their own power and have a levelized fixed rate for their electricity. But 2, this is going to help them down the road. And they're going to continue to save money during, these hard economic times. And no one knows what's going to happen after all of this blows over. Might, drastically affect our economy. But the amazing thing about being something in solar, I fully believe it's a recession-proof industry. where during bad times, we're saving people money. So our businesses are going to continue to grow. So we have to lean into it, not really use all of the excuses that we're seeing. So step number one is just reaching out to more people. Step number two is creating more incentives. So we're creating incentives internally, just little games and gifts and things that we can do for our team internally to excite them, motivate them. We have leaders buying our team's appointments, leads, etc. Just more things to keep them excited. But more importantly, we're doing a massive amount of incentives for our customers. So our customers have a lot of incentives going on right now, like paying for their utility bills, giving them massive high referral fees. Normally, I know a lot of people in the industry, their standard referral fee is $250 or $500. We're like, how about we blow this out of the water? And if they give us a bunch of referrals, how about we give them $2,500 or $3,000? Because a lot of people might not give you their neighbors or their friends for $250 or $500. But if you increase that referral fee, especially during a time where you're not getting business, they're most likely going to give it to you, because a lot of these homeowners, they're on fixed incomes. They might have just lost their jobs. They're probably worried about losing their job if they still have it. So income is something that's super important to them. So we're turning this into not only an opportunity for our internal team, but an opportunity for our customers to become our ambassadors. And for those customers who are in limbo, who never wanted to go solar with us because it didn't feel like the right time, it couldn't be a better time now. So we're giving them, a lot of tools and different incentives to make this decision easy. Step three, just internally with our team, holding everyone more accountable. So one of the cool things that we've been doing, because most of our team is dialing on the phone right now, they're dialing warm leads, cold leads, referrals, our old database, is holding them accountable. How do we hold them accountable? We have a really awesome Google Hangouts that we do every single day, where everyone hops on, everyone turns on their camera and gets on mute and just starts dialing. So we can still have that virtual environment online without having to be in the office, and everyone can see each other working, because as human beings, when we see other people working harder, it makes us want to work harder. That's why if you ever try to run alone or work out alone, it might be a little bit harder. But if you're in a gym environment where you see everyone else working out, you're going to want to work out a little bit harder or run a little bit faster. It's the same thing in sales. If you want to sell more, you have to see other people selling. So we created this virtual environment for everyone to be able to hold each other accountable and kind of hold each other accountable to actually making those calls and reaching their targets. Number four is internally as leaders, kind of like Andrew touched on, one of the most important things that we can do is having our leaders step up during these times. If our leaders are sending out the message like, we don't know what's going on, we don't know what's going to happen, well, obviously our sales team isn't going to respond to that. But our leaders right now have to be rock solid. They have to be bulletproof, and they have to be stronger than ever. So our leadership is just doing an awesome job holding accountability trainings, weekly sales trainings, leadership trainings, mindset trainings, motivational trainings, just on a daily basis, every single day, being able to train our teams. Because right now, again, more than ever, it's very easy to get distracted with all of the media, all of the attention out there and everything that's going on. So we're trying to kind of filter that with good information, training, and positivity for our team. Step number 5 is great tools. So we've been lucky and blessed to have amazing tools like Solo. So we personally have been using Solo since the start of our company. It's been an awesome tool, something that we really like because it's so interactive. And now more than ever, Solo is very important, because you could be sitting in a home with a customer, maybe draw out something for them, maybe show them what their roof is going to look like, have them visualize it. But being able to see something on your roof is super important. So for Go Solo, it's been really cool for us to be able to show our customers that interactive proposal and being able to show them like, hey, your roof is going to look like this with solar. And if we take off panels, it's going to look like this. And if we add panels, it's going to look like this. And customers, when they're doing something, over Zoom or doing something virtually over the phone, they want to have some form of reality. They want to be able to feel and see that they can actually visualize the product that they're getting. So Solo allows us to do that. It shows the savings really well, and it's just a very easy presentation tool for us. So on Zoom, all we do is we screen share the Solo proposal with the customer, and we just walk them through the entire thing. And they're able to have it pulled up there on their phone or their computer, and then they're able to see it on our shared screen, and it just sells the customer very, very perfectly. So it's been an awesome tool that we have, as well as using, a lot of different dialers and different, kind of phone tools and follow-up tools. So right now, more than ever, we're very lucky and blessed to be in this digital age where we have all of these amazing tools to help our customers visualize and get a great experience with solar. So it is our duty to be able to show them that. I remember when I first got in solar, some of the people that trained me, they were literally training me on a pen and a paper and a notepad and drawing out a home with a solar system. I never would have imagined that, having something like solar where literally interactively I could show them their house with the panels on and I could remove the panels for them. So it's such an amazing tool. And one of the reasons I decided to hop on and do this call is because I really do believe that Solo has helped increase our team's sales over and over again. And it's something that you really can't put a price on because, for customers, again, like 50% of your customers are going to be visual and they're going to want to see it. And Solo is able to do that very fast. And, the last thing I just touched on very fast, that's probably the last amazing thing I'll say about Solo. They're able to do it super quickly. Every single time we submit a request, it takes 5 or 10 minutes for that design to come back. Usually it's more on the, 5 to 6 minute side. And it's just amazing how quickly you can do that with your customer, and to see your customer have the reaction like, wow, I just gave you my information and 5 to 10 minutes later, you spit out this entire proposal with 30 different numbers, the panels on my roof, and it's interactive. It really blows their mind away. So it's some amazing technology. And for those of you on this call that either aren't fully utilizing it or haven't fully gotten onto Solo yet, I highly recommend it. It's going to make your sales easier. And then my last step that we're kind of using internally is just having a lot of different marketing material and being able to be diverse with our marketing. So we have a really awesome ad agency that we're using internally right now that's been helping us get a lot of warm leads. We're buying some cold data for our team. We're going back to our old customers and we're remarketing. Our ad agency, I just saw someone who was asking a question on Facebook ads. Our ad agency specializes in Facebook, so we're really doubling down on Facebook right now and having some awesome warm opportunities because, again, there's a lot of people out there that want to save money with solar right now. There's a lot of people out there that, want to be able to, fix this problem that they're having with their income. And the beauty of solar is we're able to offer them a solution. We're able to make their situation better by offering them a solution. So in my case right now, marketing has never been better for us. I think, we're a few hours into the day right now for us here in Pacific Standard Time. I think we have 3 or 4 deals already. We'll probably be able to double that by the end of the day, and all of it's done virtually. And keep in mind, up until 4 or 5, 6 weeks ago, we were just mostly a door-to-door team. So we were able to make that transition, and it's because all those 6 things I just said. So I'll repeat those for all of you once again for those of you taking notes. 1 is more action and more outflow, just reaching out to more people in our current database. 2 is incentives for our sales team and for our customers. 3 is accountability using tools like Google Hangouts, having everyone pop on. 4 is more weekly and daily trainings for our internal team, increasing the communication. 5 is having good tools just like Solo and Salesrabbit. These tools help us tremendously. And then 6 is having good marketing and being able to really double down on our marketing right now because, again, our old form of marketing was door-to-door, but now it's all converted online. So it's a very, very important part to double down on. So hopefully that answers all of the questions for you guys. If you guys have questions for me directly, you can reach out to me either on LinkedIn. You can find me, Z-A-I-N is my first name, Zane. Last name is Jan, J-A-N. Or you can find me on Instagram, Zane Jan Official. So appreciate all of you guys hopping on and kind of hearing out Andrew's tips and my tips, and wish everyone in this industry the best because there's a time where all of us have to come together. I've never seen an industry that is so supportive of each other with other companies. Usually when you're in an industry, people are competing with each other. They're trying to bring each other down, but in the solar industry, everyone's trying to lift each other up. So the best I could do is kind of give you our tools and our tricks and hope that everyone else does well as well. So
yeah. And one thing I'll add to that too is that if you're feeling uncertain because we're doing things through the internet or through cold calls, just, put your faith in the deal. Don't worry so much about how you are. It's not, the phones work. There's entire companies that run their entire organization, even before this, just off the phones, just off virtual calls, even with commercial jobs and commercial companies. So it's, this is a tried and true method, and it just comes down to the deal that you're selling, how you're presenting it. Work on your tonality because they can't see your face a lot of the time. But if you are lucky enough to get on a video call with people, have the common sense to leave your webcam on, get a good computer. Like right before this, I was shopping for a computer because got to get a good computer now, right? So just make sure you have all the tools you need, and yeah, let the deal carry you here, because at the end of the day, the deal sells itself, and you know, it's going to work if you work, as always.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Zane and Andrew from Better, thank you guys so much. That was it's amazing input. Very well thought out, very well presented. Thank you so much. And like I said, yeah, so these, so they're from Better Earth. Like Zane was saying, feel free to reach out to them if you have questions. What we'll do now is I'll go ahead and share my screen. And I did try this ahead of time to make sure it would work, but we'll make sure that it still works. So you should be able to see kind of Solo in the top left and see my screen now. My chat's on, so if you're not able to see that for some reason, just let me know, and I can make sure to try and fix that. So like Zane was mentioning, you know, step 5 is having some great tools, and us, you know, Solo and Salesrabbit are both, you know, given the fact that it's 2020 and even pre-quarantine and pre-COVID, you know, our tools are built around being virtual and being nimble and being agile. So having a tool that you can use all the time, whether, you know, we're in our current situation or moving forward, it's going to be a great solution to a lot of needs. Specifically, we want to address, you know, the virtual selling that we're having to do nowadays. So what I'll do is I'll kind of forego walking through the software, and with the limited time, I'm going to dive into the proposal itself and just talk about some of the features that are in the proposal that can help you sell virtually. And as Zane and Andrew were saying, you know, anticipating that this is done virtually, a lot of these tools are built in. So if you're calling a customer and you do a Google Hangout, or if you do a Zoom call and this is what they're seeing, you can walk them through this proposal as they're on the screen share and edit all these tools and change everything in real life. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Solo, what we do is we provide back office solutions to residential solar companies. And so what we'll do is you can basically log in, you can request proposals, docs, CAD, and permitting through our platform. Like I said, today we'll just focus on the proposal, but if you do want more information, our site is available at www.gosolo.io, and you're able to schedule a demo with one of our reps. You're able to find more information. We're more than happy to help you out however we can. So I'm going to dive into this proposal here, and we'll go over into a handful of the different features. The main screen that you'll see here is this is a screen that you're able to customize. You can change your background logo. You can change your logo itself. You get to choose your color scheme. There will be a live chat with our design team integrated into the proposal. And then you also have direct team member communication when you type an @ symbol, and then you're able to chat with people in your team as well. In the top right-hand corner, we'll have it's called your settings menu, but essentially what this is I call this the toolbar. And these are all the different items and things that you can change pre-presentation or during presentation. Solo is meant to be a sales conversion tool, so we want you to be able to take this to the customer virtually, physically, however, and be able to present it to them. And whatever kind of curveballs or things that they want or need or present to you, we want you to have the solution right here to be able to change that and show them what they need. So as we scroll down, the first section we'll see here in the proposal, we're going to see an actual design on the rooftop. Keep in mind that this will have already, with the company that will have gotten a design like this, will already have gone through an onboarding process. So we'll know your loan options, your panels, inverters, pricing, states you operate in. Basically, the whole backbone of your operation will already be built into this proposal so that you're showing a customer a unique and customized solution to their situation, but also with all the data and availability that your company already has. So if we're looking at a system like this, we'll see panels on the roof. We're able to toggle the Google Project sunroof on or off to show them the heat map. It's a great opportunity to explain why you put panels where you put them and how that benefits them. If we scroll down a little bit more, we'll see that we have our system size here, our estimated yearly production for the system, the modules we're currently using, and then the inverter that we're currently using. And I say currently because, like everything else in the proposal, you can adjust and change this dynamically as you're pitching the customer and speaking with them. So we can come into our side menu here and come to equipment. And in the equipment menu, as a company, you will have already built out everything that you sell as a company into this menu. So if you wanted to change from, say, a Silfab 300 to an LG 320, you can quickly change that panel, click update, and then everything throughout the whole proposal is going to change. So you'll see your price change, you'll see the monthly cost change, the ITC, the production, the system size. Everything's going to change dynamically to show the customer that new scenario you presented them. One thing as well that I want to highlight as, kind of before we get into these changes is a new feature that we've come out with. So if you are doing, the screen shares, they'll obviously be seeing this with you. But for instance, if you were to just send them a proposal, One thing we've recently introduced is this feature here called share/present. If you're on this section here, what this will do is this will auto-populate with the customer's phone number and email. And you can quickly click send email or send text, and it's going to send them a copy of this proposal. Now, the most important thing about this is that it will send them a locked version of the same proposal. So this toolbar and all the dynamic features I'm going to show you won't be enabled on their version. But the best part about it is that anything you change on your end, and that could be something as simple as the panel we've just changed, or maybe it's the finance options or panel placement. Anything you change will automatically reflect and update in your customer's proposal without them even lifting a finger. So it's kind of an actionless update. They'll see it immediately. And as you're talking to them, whether it's over the phone or you're doing a Zoom or Google Hangout, that can change right in front of them as well, whether they're on a mobile device, their own computer, tablet, whatever it may be. So that's a really great virtual tool to make sure that you and your customer are always on the same page while you're talking to them about the solar system. So back to kind of the system design that we have here. What we'll see as well is if we toggle this sunlight off again, but a common occurrence is you get to the customer's house and you need to either resize the system or you need to move panels around. Typically you'd have to request a revision, but what we've done is we've actually built this edit button into the bottom right of this corner. And if you click on it, what it's going to do is it's actually going to give you a tool that will allow you to see a max fit roof array. So we can see here that in our top right corner, we've got our solar offset currently at 121%. We can still toggle our sunlight on or off, which is a great tool for being able to see the more valuable roof space you have. And then you'll see a solar payment. And this will be a monthly payment that corresponds with your default loan option. So if we're looking at this customer, offset maybe is a little high. Maybe that's a little bit more than we want to sell the customer. It's really easy to see that these green panels are placed and toggled on. So they'll be incorporated into the system. The red panels are placed according to fire code and company specifications, but they're not toggled on, so they're not currently taking place in the system. So to toggle them off, you simply click panels, and you'll just select the ones you don't want on, and you'll see our price and our offset will automatically adjust as we toggle these on and off. So say we want to get down to about 104, sounds great. You can click on this save button. And then what that's going to do is that's actually going to edit our image in real time. And then our system size, our yearly production, total cost, monthly cost, ITC, everything will change immediately with that. So it's very, very easy to see those adjustments and how they can make. Let's see, there are times in monthly. Awesome. So we've got a question about the consumption that you enter in. So when you submit for a proposal, and the reason we'll take this question now is because it actually feeds right into our next section, which is this section here. So when you submit for a solo proposal, you'll put in the customer's name, phone number, email, address. You'll drop a pin on their house, and then you'll upload their consumption so we know what size system to build for them. So in this section, this section right here that we're actually looking at, this will be preloaded with that consumption info. Now, you've all experienced this. You go to a house and the customer may have either A, not uploaded correct usage, maybe they didn't give you any usage, or maybe they have updated usage. There's all kinds of scenarios that we experience. But as you go to the house, what you can do with the solo proposal, kind of in the spirit of being dynamic, is that you can click on any one of these months throughout the year. And let me change one setting really quick to make this just a little bit easier to digest. Let me toggle off a couple adders. We'll hit update. So looking at these here, we'll see that each one of these bars will represent that month's energy consumption. If we click on any month, it's going to open up an override tool where we're able to quickly change the consumption. So say we want it to be 1900. You can quickly click update and it'll update that month. Now, sometimes it gets a little tedious if you want to update a year as a whole. Month by month, there are a couple things, not too bad. But if you wanted to update the year as a whole, you can click on the words energy consumption over here to the left. It's a little bit of a hidden feature, but it's built in. If you click on that, it'll actually open up this annual tool. And what you'll be able to do is we can see here that you could quickly adjust month by month, or in the annual usage bar, you could just type in a whole new annual number, which will automatically distribute throughout the months based on average NREL usage for their area. So all you have to do is type in a new number, hit update, and then if you did need to, you could scroll right back up, click on your edit, and then you could resize this system to have a different offset and include more panels or take off more panels to make the offset what you want. Simply hit save, and then you're right back to your pitch. So you're not wasting any time back and forth with revisions. Anything the customer wants, you can quickly and transparently do that right in front of them and then move on with your pitch. So the next section that we have here, this will go into kind of the offset. You'll have some adders, and then it goes into a lot of the finance options. You know, a lot of these decisions are based around money. What's the best term? What are the best savings, monthly payments? So this section kind of deals with that. So if we look here, this is our offset bubble once again. And then in this section here, we've got on proposal adders, and you can choose to include on proposal adders like these three we have here, or you can include them in your side menu. As a company, you get to choose how this is customized to you and your needs. We're a very custom fit solution. So when we go through that onboarding process, we talk with you to figure out what you need, how you sell, and what you know, where you like items on the proposal so that we can accommodate that. So if we're looking at a situation like this, you know, something like an HVAC upgrade, you can simply click it on, and that will automatically add a predetermined price into the proposal. The adders can function a variety of different ways. So for instance, if battery, if I want to click on this, it's actually going to give me the option to include 1 or 2 different batteries. So I can double up on it and it'll automatically double my price, or I can leave it at 1 and it'll just stay at the $8,900. You can also have options like this where you click on LED lights and this will automatically multiply it by a number. So you can have custom fixed costs in there. In the side menu, these are just 6 examples that I have, but what it will kind of do is show different ways that you can build out your adders. So something like roof work, you can type in any amount you want and it'll automatically add it. It can be per watt, it can be a fixed cost, it can be a drop-down menu, it can add in offset, lots and lots of variety there. So moving down a little bit, we'll have our current utility bill. And then what we can do is we can see that in the top left section here, that top left section is going to show the current utility bill and what the customer is currently paying. And then the top right will show their solar payment based on the loan option selected. This escalator here is going to show quickly what they would be paying year over year in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. That's based off a default escalation rate that you set. You can also change that in real time by coming here to utility escalation and clicking on that option. It's going to let you change that percentage immediately, which will affect your savings as well as your escalation rate. You can also even click on the number for what they're paying, whether it's their rate or their actual bill. And this will even give you an override tool to be able to edit the rate if you wanted to run hypotheticals or show them some different scenarios. On your right side here, this will show your solar payment. And what this will do is you're able to click on your loan options down here in the bottom left. So currently we're on a Loan Pal 10-year 299. If I click on this, what it's actually going to allow me to do is toggle to any different loan option that my company currently offers. And as quick as I can click and show different options, that's as quick as this proposal will reformat to show the customer different loan options, different payments, different incentives, different savings. Everything will readjust automatically as you click through these. So very, very quick, very, very easy to use. Another tool we've built in is, you know, sometimes you want to change price for customers. You know, maybe the attractive sales that you do is trying to get a equivalent or lower monthly payment. Super easy to do. This 235 here, you can click directly on it and it will actually open up your pricing scheme here, or you can click in your side menu and come to pricing. And this will give you your base price per watt, any adders you have in. So for instance, right now we just have the 15-cent adder for the LG panel we have in there. If I were to click in my adders, and I'll just include an energy efficiency and a nest, click update, and then come back to my pricing, we'll see now that this automatically added in those items and included it in my price per watt, gave me my final system cost, my ITC, and my monthly loan payment. So really, really quick and easy adjustments. This line here is where kind of the money maker is. So you can quickly change your price per watt just by typing in a new number, and that will reconfigure your loan amount and everything else in the proposal, making it really, really easy to kind of change the price to wherever you want it to be. So we'll leave it there for now. Decent 25-year savings. And what I'll show you now is actually really cool. So with Loan Pal and Sunlight currently, Loan Pal, Sunlight, and Mosaic currently, and then soon to be Dividend, we have kind of a level 2 API integration with them. So if you're on, say for instance, the Sunlight loan option that I'm on right now, and keep in mind this works for Loan Pal, Sunlight, Dividend, so Loan Pal, Sunlight, Mosaic, and then soon to be Dividend, you can actually click on this qualify button. And what this will do is this will actually pull up your Sunlight credit qualification portal in proposal. It'll auto-populate with all of their information that you've already entered. So you will need to enter the social, some job information, some income information. But then you can simply scroll down. You can include a co-applicant if you really want to. Consent to the credit check, hit submit, and then you'll get a decision back from Sunlight or Loan Pal Mosaic within about 10 to 30 seconds. And once that has come back approved, you'll be able to actually send them the loan documentation right here from this portal instantly. So another button will appear right beneath this that says send loan docs. You'll be able to send those loan documents right away, and it'll go directly to your customer's email, and they can work on the financing portion of the deal. So very, very slick integration. It's all about automation, simplicity, reducing errors, and making it a better presentation for your customer so that you're able to close more deals. Another couple options we have here is the ability to, if we're watching our payment factor here for our post amortization, you can toggle your credits on or off, and that will instantly affect their long-term payment and their 25-year savings. So really easy to show them a couple different situations, full application of the credit, full application of the state credit, just to kind of steer the conversation wherever you need it to go. If you click in your side menu, you also have an additional incentive section here where you can click on this and actually have a more expanded view of those incentives. So you could override their value, you could hide them if you wanted to, and even as a team, we can build out custom incentives here for you for, as Zane was mentioning, referral bonus. Maybe you want to do cash back or first 2 months payment, whatever it may be. We can build those in for you, and then you can quickly host and control them from that side menu. Another option is we get a lot of people doing cash deals. We've got a great solution for that. If you click on cash, this will actually reformat the proposal to your default cash price instead of your default financed price. And we've built in payment integration directly into the proposal. So if we click on a cash deal, Mr. and Mrs. Smith really like the cash price, they're ready to go forward. The Pay Now button is right here, and you can quickly click on Pay Now. And then let me go back one screen. You can quickly process a payment in full, or you can even set up a payment plan between 2 or 3 different pull dates. You can set the date, the amount, and then once you click next, you're able to put in their ACH or their credit card information and process that payment directly through the proposal to your bank account as easy as can be. Down here, the proposal will go a little bit more into some more infographics, some savings calculations. These are really helpful tools to be able to steer the conversation as well as a sales rep to just kind of drive the point home that not only are you saving the earth and doing a good thing, you're lowering energy costs, you're getting off the grid, you're increasing the value in your home. There's a handful of kind of routes you can take this. And a lot of the companies really love the flexibility that this template offers, because not only can you customize it, but you can also use the built-in tools and infographics to steer the conversation in a positive way to close the customer. This page here will just give kind of a basic process rundown, so you can see steps 1 through 7 here. You're able to edit these steps, you're able to change them around, you're able to swap your background image. All of that is kind of your choice when you onboard as a company. And then last but not least, we have our proposals details page. And what this will do is this will give basic, a rundown of the same information that was up above, but I like to call it kind of an easier to digest format to where they can quickly see all the utility information, and they're able to see the bill, what they're currently using, what a system would produce for them, and then what the total cost of that system would be given whether they choose cash or financing. And again, once you get to the end, you're obviously going to want to share this with them if you haven't yet. If you're doing a screen share, you can end up where you end up, send it to them, try to close them, send it to them so they can think about it. It's entirely up to you. But you can export to a PDF, or you can share that. And then last but not least, we've got our utility bill info section. And what this will do is this will give a rundown of the utility bill, and it can give them a whole year of pre and post solar payments. And it will also give you a breakdown per month if you click on any one of these months as to minimum charges, connection fees, energy export credits, taxes. All of that will be baked in so they can see a really detailed view about how solar could affect not only their bill, but their daily life. Another really great virtual tool is, say you do go through this presentation, customer's ready to go. They love the option. They love the finance deal you've got in here. Let's sign installation documents. Let's get the process going. Is we actually have built-in document integration into the proposal as well. So this docs request section right here, and let me give it a little bit of context. What we'll do is we'll actually take your installation agreement, and you can send us multiple. So if you have one for cash, one for finance, one for this state, and one for that state, we can take your documents, we'll integrate them into our Solo DocuSign account. And then we'll also pull the net metering and the interconnection documents for your utility company. We'll put it all together, and then we can add any custom pages. Some states have disclosure documentation that says, this is, like California, for example, you have to include this state disclosure that talks about solar and the process and some different aspects of getting a system. But essentially, we'll put that all together for you. And when you come to this docs request section to close, you can quickly click on it. You'll just choose who's going to be signing the agreement from the customer's end. We'll choose the homeowner. That pulls up a name and their email. You'll choose your installation contract template. So this could be something like cash, financed, Arizona, New Mexico, wherever you want to be. You'll put in the account number. You'll put in the meter number. Once again, you have the option for a co-applicant. You could put that here if you'd like. And then when you click request docs, our automated process will actually pull all the information out of the proposal. So that's your panels, your system size, adders, lender, total cost, ITC. It'll pull all of that out and put it into your installation document for you. Send it to your rep digitally who can sign it, and then send it to your customer who can sign it. And then afterwards, we can upload it back to the site for you, and everyone gets a copy. I'll go ahead and stop sharing really quick while I go over the last few details. One of the things we can do as well is we do offer some CRM and API syncs. So with all that, we can send all this information through a lot of different platforms. We have an awesome integration with Salesrabbit. Salesrabbit, if you're not familiar with them, they're an awesome company in Lehigh as well. I think we're about 2 miles apart maybe. And what they do is they're able to provide that lead management, and we can actually build Solo into their platform so that as a door knocking and a lead gen and management tool, you can request Solo services from the Salesrabbit platform. So lots of option for integration and kind of some synergy. As much as I dislike that word, I feel like it's an overused word, but it's very descriptive of what we have going on. But anyway, so Solo's a great tool. If you want to find out more about that, just go to gosolo.io. Really easy to remember. It's just GOSOLO.io. So we'd be happy to give you a more personal demo and everything like that. But without further ado, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and turn the time over to Mike, and he can talk a little bit about Salesrabbit, and then I'll answer some of the questions that came through the queue.
Appreciate it, David. And I'm going to try to leave us at least 5-7 minutes for questions, but don't be afraid to give me a full stop if we need to pivot at some point over to the Q&A. So I'm going to pull up my iPad here, and David, can you give me a thumbs up? Are we seeing that?
Yeah, we're good.
Perfect. Okay, so some of you have probably heard of Salesrabbit, some not. Know the guys over at Better Earth have, but we really brand ourselves and see ourselves as within field sales, the end-to-end tool that companies can use for the field sales process. Everything from lead to close. And so we want to own or really give you the opportunity for lead generation, lead management within our app, the ability to do qualifications, do proposals and presentations, and then ultimately an order entry process and pushing that data into a back-end CRM. Now, some of those things we own directly, and we're going to do in our app because we built it to do those things. And there's others where we don't actually own it directly, but we partner with people like Solo, Sunlight Financial, to be able to facilitate that experience in one place. And we really believe in that a rep should be able to do all those things in one place, fewest clicks possible, even if we're drawing in data from other partners that we work with. So we are an iOS and an Android app. We also have a web app, which is good for administration and adjusting settings, looking at data at a high level. But with iOS and Android, basically an identical experience, the same features and functions. It's just a little bit of a different user experience. They navigate a little bit differently. So from my home screen, I can look at a leaderboard and I can see how my team is doing, comparing to each other. These are live updated, and you can configure this, and we can help you configure it so that the data doesn't need to be reported by the rep. The rep's not saying this to their manager at the end of the day, sending them a text or something. The rep's just out there doing their job, marking leads as not home, not interested, sale, appointment, go back, and the data is automatically populating in here. Really great for competitions, creating motivation and driving teams forward. We've also got messaging built into the app, kind of like a WhatsApp or GroupMe experience, where teams are able to collaborate. And Of course, there's other tools you could be using for this, WhatsApp, GroupMe, or plain SMS texting. But again, it's that theme of putting all the tools in one place, because if they're there, the reps are going to use them, they're going to adopt them, and they're going to have a more efficient process. You're not going to have some rep like texting his girlfriend or, you know, talking to friends, family, and stuff when they should be working, making money for themselves and for your company. Other things we provide in here are any sort of external links. And these are just some silly examples, but if it was important for my reps to be able to access ESPN while they're working in Salesrabbit, or your company website, or solo, you're able to basically access that website inside our app through what's called an iframe. So I can select that particular link, and it opens up that web address inside the app. I haven't actually left Salesrabbit. It's all in one place for me, so I can access those tools. If you've got presentation content, like different from the proposals that you're doing with solo, maybe PDFs or videos that you're using on the initial doorstep, maybe it's the setter, just trying to generate that interest, you can have that content in here as well and go through a presentation with them. Real nice, sleek, clean way of communicating the value of the product and your company. But really, where the magic happens, where people live in Salesrabbit, is in this Sales Hub here. This is where we're generating leads, managing territory. The rep knows where they're supposed to work. They can work through those. And as I mentioned before, it's all about that flow of lead generation, lead management. If it's setter closer, am I handing off that lead from one person to another? And then am I able to do qualifications, proposals, and an order entry? So one of the things we provide is an add-on product called Data Grid, which is demographic information. So if I go to this territory, like I, as a manager, can come in and assign a territory to a particular rep. I'm going to give this one to Steve Young. It highlights as his territory. Steve logs in. He knows exactly where he's supposed to work. No more taking a photo with your phone of a bunch of A4 pieces of paper taped up on the wall. Area management live as it goes in the field. And then once that rep goes to their area on the map, they're going to see that area auto-populated with all of these little gray pins. The gray pins tell them who lives there. First, last name, the address, and up to 30 other data points that you can use as part of the selling process. Things like general household income. What's the home value? Is this person an owner or a renter? What's their general credit rating? And that's key because you may coach them and say, here's the sort of things I want you to be looking for. Don't knock on a renter house. Or you may just say, you know what? The credit rating is a good thing to be looking at, but that just tells you how deep to get into that conversation. Don't necessarily not knock that door. And another nice thing about this is you as an owner of a company or admin on your account, you're able to customize what data points you want reps to see so that you're really curating that list of data that's going to present to them. So I'm working through these leads, updating them with whatever status, whatever happened in that interaction. And like I said, the leaderboard is capturing all that data. Good for you as a company because it's tracking all these interactions. And if later, Rep A is going to be leaving my company, working in a completely different industry, this data has no value to them. I have access to this data, these leads that I can hand off to another person. Or if I'm just going to assign a different rep to this area in the future, I can give them visibility on what people were not qualified that we really want to go hit up and see if it's a good opportunity to be working with them. You can grab sets of leads and build them into a route. That's going to show you the most efficient way to work. So if I'm a closer and I've got 20 appointments to visit today, I can grab those quickly and it's going to Google map them for me, show me the best way to approach those. I can set appointments. I can search a particular lead by a first or last name, an address. Takes me to that particular location on the map. I can also filter the data in here. So if I work through a territory and I've marked all these leads, not home, not interested, go back, call back, whatever it is, and now I'm taking a second loop and I want to see who did I sell? Who can I name drop off of? And then where were the not homes? I can see that really quickly. I can focus on the not homes and go and sell those. Now, there's a lot more in here that we could talk about, but I do want to make sure to highlight on the solo integration and how that looks from the Salesrabbit perspective. So if I've got this little lead here, test lead, I can open that up. I've been working with this person over time, talking to them, maybe our first interaction, or we may have had a couple of face-to-faces. I can hit this pencil icon, open up the lead, capture a bunch of details. Once I'm ready to do this proposal over to Solo, I'm going to touch this Forms tab at the top of the screen. I've got a little Sunlight Financial pre-qual tab in here. You can do that qualification, get the response back. Or I can hit this Solo form. It pre-populates whatever data I've already captured from the lead. And then it's got a couple of other fields I need to make sure to fill in. What's their annual usage? What utility company? What's the offset? And an optional one is real time. Now, I can tell you that most companies, they want the real-time Solo proposal. I think this is an amazing feature that Solo offers, because if you can get that proposal in 5 to 15 minutes versus that proposal being generated next day, that's a huge closing value. So I enter in those additional data points, and then I would hit submit on this form, and it's going to take 1 or 2 seconds, and it's going to give me a success data submitted over to Solo, stand by for proposal. Now, at this point, I'm kind of left wondering, when is that coming? But I know it's going to be within about a 15-minute window. Once the proposal is ready, the rep is going to get an email in their email inbox, and it's going to say Solo proposal ready. At that point, I can be in this lead, and I can touch this little link icon here. It exists here on this little mini card page. It also exists in the full lead. I just hit that link, touch that, and it opens the Solo proposal inside the app for me. Now, if I haven't logged into Solo yet, I need to do that first. But once I've logged in, that session's open. I can continue to submit for proposals, get the notification they're ready, hit that link. And because you're touching the link inside the lead, it's opening the proposal for that potential customer, for that lead. And that frame there, that window that you're accessing the Solo proposal in, fully interactive. You can interact with that proposal, do everything that David's been showing you as part of that proposal experience. Now, not much time left, but I just wanted to throw a couple of insights there. Andrew and Zane were talking about the COVID-19 situation. Just a little thought from Salesrabbit as we've been working with a lot of customers, a lot of our customers in solar and other industries, is we got some people, some companies that come to us and are very hesitant, very afraid. They're very bearish about the market and what they should be doing. There's others that, like Zane was saying, this is the best month we've ever had. It's incredible. Everybody's at home. Like, we have to be careful. We need to be empathetic. Everybody knows what's going on, but it's still a great sales opportunity. So what I would tell companies is this is a fantastic opportunity for you to pivot your approach and be more digital, be more virtual. And some of these pivots are things that you're only going to do for this period of time. It worked now, it was great. We don't need to do that in the future. But I can guarantee you, if you start looking at things like, can we use video conferencing for some appointments in certain situations? Maybe we do paper contract signing. Well, let's do digital signing. Maybe we do digital signing already, but can we do remote digital signing? There's some of these things you're going to pivot to and try in this situation, this little laboratory that we're living in right now. And you're going to find that these are things that when COVID-19 is a thing of the past, you're going to keep doing these because they've made you more efficient. Do not be bearish right now. A down market is an opportunity to look for opportunities to pivot your approach. So when you come out of this, you're going to be more successful than ever. And one last thing to mention, in Utah, California, some other states, some of these restrictions are starting to be lifted, or at least they're planning to, maybe beginning of May. And I can tell you right now, it's not like all restrictions are going to be lifted at once. Restrictions on things like field sales are going to lift, but not things on restaurants or gyms or like taking your kids to the jump gym or something. And you'll find that a lot of these homeowners are still going to be at home living like COVID-19 is still going on, but your sales team has been freed up. So plan now for how you're going to take advantage of that 3 to 4 week window of time when people are really ready to hear this offer, but haven't quite left their homes yet.
That's the truth right there.
Yeah, that very much is. Mike, you've got a few more minutes if you want. If there's anything else about Salesrabbit you want to kind of dive into, if you open up the QA, there are a few questions too that you could probably answer live as you're kind of going through that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Let me actually show you one more thing here that I think is interesting as we talk about these pivots. One thing let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen here. Okay, David, can you see this slide deck I got pulled up there?
Yep. It's got the blue shirt and the gray shirt. Now
Yep.
it's Boost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take kind of 5 minutes or so. You're good.
Yeah, one product that people don't know about that we have is called Salesrabbit Boost or Boost. This is a digital marketing platform that allows you to basically bring the marketing funnel and the field sales funnel together. So many companies are making these separate, like we're spending money on billboards, we're spending money on ad space, SEO, and a variety of places, and all that's good. But if you could just bring these two funnels together and create that synergy, that David hates that word, but it's true. If I can integrate those efforts, it makes so much sense. And so Boost is a digital marketing product that allows you to geo-fence areas. And what this looks like is it could be preceding a territory. I know my field sales team is going to go in this neighborhood, this city block, whatever it is, in the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to precede that territory. I draw a polygon around that territory. And then we are collecting digital device IDs from mobile devices, phones, tablets in that territory. And we're able to feed display ads. So if you're looking at CNN, ESPN, you're seeing those ads mixed in with the content. Video ads on connected TV, or when you're watching videos on YouTube or something. Audio ads on Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio. So I can precede a territory, create awareness about my product before my team goes in. I could go through that territory and say, okay, we made some sales. We have some people that said, please never come back. And then we've got some homes where there was a really warm contact, maybe a qualification issue. And we can target those ones specifically and run some sort of a nurture campaign with them to get them to the point where they're able to make a buying decision. I could target an event, could be a home show or something of that kind. I could do recruiting. And let me tell you, this is the other insight we found, is companies are going crazy with recruiting right now. There's amazing people who are very skilled, great at their jobs in field sales, who've been laid off. And this is a recruiting boom opportunity. So if you want to do a marketing event around a job fair, around a university campus, there's all sorts of applications here where you could create awareness about a recruiting opportunity with companies. These are some examples of ads that might show up. You've seen stuff like this before, mixed in with news content or something. And the idea is, the beauty of the geofencing is this allows you to decide, where is my audience? Whether they're in a residential neighborhood or they're at an event or they're at a job fair, where is my audience? What is the message I want to give them? And to be able to target them specifically. We collect those device IDs, and then we're going to serve up ads to those devices for up to 30 days afterward. And just so everybody knows, I don't think this is a well-known thing, the device ID is not like a standalone. I've got a phone, I've got a tablet, I got a laptop, I got a connected TV. Those are all connected together. So if someone goes inside that geofence with their mobile phone, they're also going to see ads on those other spaces. So this is something that is fantastic for a COVID-19 environment, but this is also something that we're seeing people commit marketing spend to as we're coming out of COVID-19. Like, this is a game changer, didn't realize this existed. They want to take advantage of this in the future as well.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mike. Awesome. There's well, thank you everyone for joining us. We'll wrap it up here. We've got a handful of questions in the queue. Most of them are about Salesrabbit, Mike. I don't know if you want to hop in there and answer any of these. They're mostly one about phone numbers in the area. So if there's any kind of last minute questions anyone wants answered, feel free to just throw them in that queue really quick. If if you don't have any questions or you're ready to log off, you can feel free to log off. Thank you for being here. I know Mike, Andrew, Zane, and I all truly appreciate your time and the ability we had to kind of tell you what we do and how we're approaching this situation.
Yeah, let me run through a couple of these. So what are the benefits of SalesRabbit now with no door knocking? Well, that's not going to last for very much longer, but definitely a good question. How do we deal with that? We got a lot of companies who are continuing to use SalesRabbit as that database, that CRM for where they're collecting that data, but they are doing calling. They're doing emailing campaigns. They are basically preparing and setting the stage for the post COVID-19 world. And one of the things to focus on is data. Let's say I currently have a SalesRabbit account and I've got a lot of these contacts we've had previously, and I've got phone numbers. They're not a customer, I didn't sell them, but we've got people that we can reach out to now. So you can pivot from there to doing those sorts of campaigns. Someone else asked, does the data grid populate phone numbers as you draw out the grid? So one of the things that's been, I would say this is the holy grail of data, is really accurate phone numbers. And we've struggled in the past to find a data provider, a data source that has good phone numbers. We're closing in on one right now, and we've got some data for existing customers who want to do some calling campaigns. We can dish up some DNC approved calling lists that you can use in certain areas to reach out to customers, and we can even filter it by, are they an owner? What's their credit rating? What's their income? How long have they lived in that home? Can you export lead data to a dialer? Yeah, you can actually import data into SalesRabbit. You can also export it out if you've got a calling team that needs to call on some of those leads that you've generated in SalesRabbit. Another question about homeowner phone numbers. And again, on that, the reason this is the holy grail is because people get it wrong so often. We don't want to go giving people phone numbers and email addresses that are not DNC approved, that are on the do not call list, or that we just don't believe are valid. So we've got a couple of data providers that we've accessed that we feel confident in that, but we're locking down something that in the future is just going to be a regular offering as part of our data grid. What's the average CPA using Boost? Great question. I'm assuming Andrew here has some marketing chops. So I would encourage you to reach out to our team. If you go to salesrabbit.com, we've got a little chat feature there, and basically ask about Boost and about CPA scores and everything. We can talk through that. With Boost, it's a very collaborative experience. Reach out to us. We can set up a conversation, talk about what's your marketing spend, what do you want to achieve, how long do we want to run that, and really give you all the numbers and build out that campaign. And when that campaign goes, you can then have a dashboard that shows you what is the click-through rate, what's the exposure, and how many impressions have been delivered. If it's an audio or video ad, an impression is not, they looked at it for 2 seconds. It's at least half of the ad that was run. So you're really making sure that you're maximizing your spend. You're not wasting dollars on that. Follow-up question from Andrew. So then the follow-up to that is, what data do you retrieve? We have SalesRabbit now. So you can actually export all the data that you have in SalesRabbit right now. If you wanted to create a calling list, feel free to reach out to our support team at 801-418-9009 or support@salesrabbit.com. We can provide insights, coach you through how to basically take the way you were traditionally using SalesRabbit and be able to work a little better in the current environment. What percentage of those phone numbers are house phone numbers versus cell numbers? We actually have both. We differentiate. So feel free to reach out to us and we can show you how you can utilize those and differentiate between those 2 different phone number types if you want to focus on one or the other. For emailing campaigns, what's the best approach to avoid sending to their work email? It's a good question. Usually work emails are going to have a pretty recognizable domain name. And that's what I've coached people on before is look for the general domain, Gmail, Yahoo, whatever that is, in order to approach those.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, everyone who's still on for being here. I believe we got through most questions. We got Andrew. He's got a couple questions, and then we'll schedule a call. And then we've pretty much got everything else. So again, thank you guys all for being here. What we'll do is the video will take a little bit to process, just being about an hour long. But once it is processed, we'll download the full email list and we'll send everyone a copy of the whole entire call or recording today. But again, thank you guys so much for being here. We wish you the best of luck in everything and stay healthy. Wash your hands as much as you can, I guess, and keep pushing so we can all get out of this together. So thank you again for being here. And thank you for our panelists for helping out as well.
Thank you, man. Let's crush it.
Let's crush it. Yeah. All right. See you guys.
See ya.